everyone, and I hope you are staying at home and staying safe. In this fourth edition of Alumni Speaks, I am happy to announce that today we have Mangesh Kamble with us. Mangesh is online from Dubai and he's the team leader with BCD Travels based at Dubai. Mangesh has been a topper of his batch of 2009 and 11, and I'm very happy to see him live after almost 5 years after the convocation was held in 2015. So after that, I'm seeing him live, and I welcome you, Mangesh, on behalf of the entire IITTM staff, teachers, and all the students over here. And I now hand over the session to Mangesh. Mangesh will be deliberating upon the impact of e-commerce on tourism industry. It's all over to you, Mangesh.
Good morning, everyone. First, I will tell about myself. Like I just passed on in 2011, and I was fortunate enough. I got a placement from college itself, so I was posted in PL Worldways company in Mumbai. So I worked over there for 3 years, and then I got an opportunity to work in Dubai as well. So I just moved and took the opportunity. And from last 5.5 years, I'm working in Dubai in BCD Travel, right? So in the meantime, also, I felt that need that I should have something of my own as well. So I had a travel venture also and an e-commerce venture also along with BCD. So coming to Dubai was a opportunity which I see, and the technology world started from Dubai. So it was like things are like moving fast nowadays. So I felt that e-commerce as an industry is impacting a lot way in tourism. So I'll just discuss few things which I felt so. Right, first we'll understand the statistics of tourism, like how it's contributing to the GDP of the world and also in India. So it's almost like $8.9 trillion industry, which is contributing to the world GDP, and it has a share of 10.3% of global GDP, where it has an opportunity to create 330 million jobs. Like, and also it has a visitor export of $1.7 trillion worldwide, right? And it contributes to 4.3% of the total investment globally. So if you see the Indian scenario, right, and it is almost like 6.8%, it's contributing to the total economy, and we can see a rise of 4.9% rise from 2018. So it's a positive outlook towards tourism, and it's like it is one of the contributor for employment in India, like 8.5% of total employment can be generated through tourism, right? And we can see over 2000 approx INR international visit impact billions. So going forward, like tourism is the key factor, but of course it's a challenging industry and it's a very dynamic industry where it's major impacted through lot of factors. Just hold on. Okay, so basically the internet is helping us to grow in good way as well as bad way. Where why people rush to online travel shopping, I feel so because the way of shopping for travel is getting changed day by day, and it's having a global access. So we don't need to run after agency to agency to get things done, where all things can be available online, right? Whereas I feel so the industry is more attractive towards the way of presenting it. Like if any product is there, so how we present it to the public depends. So internet has a lot of options. Like today we call it digital marketing media, where it captures millions of computer users
Mangesh,
global.
sorry to disturb you in between. Your
Yes.
voice is actually pretty low. So can you,
Okay.
I
Just
mean,
hold.
increase your volume a little bit, or maybe you can bring in the mic nearer to your mouth?
Yeah, just hold on now. Okay, it's audible now.
Yeah, better than before.
Okay, okay. Right. So what I was speaking about is the way we present things through internet is much more easier nowadays because there are a lot of options available, right? And through internet, the financial prices, like what the cost happens for marketing or presenting the products and services, becomes easier because it has a lot of options where we don't have to put extra cost for that. So there are a lot of softwares happening. You can use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter to promote the products and services, which can increase the response of the customers as well. And also the once he takes the products and services, we can also have the feedback as well at the same time, right? So satisfaction of the level of the customers also increases when we use the internet, right? Plus, there are a lot of suppliers involved in private industry, like from the hotel to the car rentals to the suppliers to the DMCs, and then comes to the customer, right? So through internet, things get easily where we can have a direct access to the combined product as well, rather than going individually to the middleman, right? And it saves time. So what happens is that the traditional travel agents having the business model like working for fixed hours like 9 to 6 also has to change because the industry is getting 24/7, right? Just hold on. So there are a few components why the travelers leave the travel agents, right? First is the convenience factor. So a normal travel agency opens at 9 o'clock. So there is a time foundation always, right? Of course, there are departments which work for 24/7. Like let's say example of Make My Trip. We can say a lot of things are getting access through WhatsApp nowadays. The agents are giving the mobile number where they can access through WhatsApp. So that's one of the component which is changing nowadays. There are groups created, so it helps people to get connected and have access 24/7. But a normal agent doesn't have that, right? Second is the cheaper fare option. Always a consumer always looks for value for money. So at the same platform, I can access 3 4 websites altogether: Booking.com, Make My Trip, Yatra, or any other website, Expedia. But going from Thomas Cook, then to go to Cox and Kings, and go to several local agencies where to just find a cheaper fare, right? And as you know, any customer always has a R&D done, right? So and also becomes a glamorous industry because when we see a Facebook, when we access Facebook, we have a lot of shopping ads besides. That's called content marketing, where we just access, for example, Thomas Cook, and then we come back to Facebook. That same Thomas Cook ad reflects on Facebook.
Technical glitches, your voice is gone.
Okay, now it's coming.
Hello.
Hello, just hold on. Huh? Just hold on. Just hold on. It's audible now.
But very less the voice.
Okay, now I guess it should be okay. It's audible now.
Yeah, better than before.
Okay, okay. So just hold on. Right, and so I was talking about the glamorous content which happens online through a lot of networking websites like Facebook and WhatsApp, right? Whereas The image problem is always there between the agent, where we can see a low quality marketing tool as compared to a digital marketing tool online, right? And the major factor is the consumer or the customer. So getting track of the service what we have provided is easier as compared to a normal agency, where we can just connect back to WhatsApp or just connect back to the online technology to get back the feedback of the product and services what we have provided, right? And always internet has a curiosity, like if suppose I have taken a tour of maybe Dubai through online agency, so I if I share among my friends, the curiosity raises, right? So always online tools generate a curiosity among people, so it becomes easy to market the services and products. Hope I'm not fast, I'm okay, right? So what is the motivating factors where we tend to use the internet? So even at 24/7 access, I can use the products and services to book it. I just need a credit card and a good internet connection to just book the hotel or any other services, right? Though the information sometimes is not correct due to source of information, so it's always recommended to use a proper sites where a proper information is there, and it's always updated one. So internet has a tool where we have a official websites for maybe the country website, the hotel website, where we can book the services, right? Through internet, I can compare the fares, I compare the cost, I can compare the products and services and choose among the best. And suppose I have a new product launched or a new package launched, so reaching out to people becomes easy through internet. So I have a global reach. So once I post a update on Facebook, so whatever network of friends I have, I can they can see my content. So out of that, only 5 to 10% even buy it. It still makes much more business as compared to a retail travel agency, right? And it's always a control over decision. Like suppose it's based on a testimonial what happens in private industry. So we have a control on that, and it's always a money driven industry of e-commerce. Just so how do we promote the tourism product, right? It can be in form of advertisement, like it was a traditional way of doing any business, right? Proper advertisement through newspaper, media and all, right? Second is the brochures, right? Normally we do the same thing for tourism, like we have a lot of brochures. Then direct marketing. So this is the concept where people have it through e-commerce, where it is a direct promotion of travel and tourism services, right? Consumer promotions is nothing but it's based on a affiliate thing, where if I have the good satisfaction of product and service, I can just promote them to my nearby people, right? Public relation, of course, the same thing. And online technology. So these are the major ones where we can promote. Online technology helps us to get a lot of referrals, right? So moving to the next concept called the direct selling or direct marketing using e-commerce technology. Now, yesterday, Kartika had a session of the OYOs, right? Which I feel is a major, I can say it has a maximum hotel share of users because it's very easy to use. And what they do is that they don't have their own assets basically. Yes, of course, they investment is their later part, but what these people do is that they leverage other people's assets and time, and they help them to create time. Like suppose the Ola and Uber or Oyo owner, right? He doesn't have his own setup. He leverages other people's maybe a technology, maybe the time, the skill part, and the infrastructure. Ola doesn't have their own car rentals, the own car or own driver, and these two, three factors like Ola and Uber have created a massive setback for car rental departments. Where I could tell one example where I was working with PL always. Now it's taken over by Yatra. We had a very good network of car suppliers in South India, right? But once this Ola and Uber concept came, everybody was okay to switch on because there is a lot of transparency. There is quick service. Then we have a proper knowledge of where it's routed through. Like for example, in Mumbai, when you go with a taxi, they will roam around a lot of places to just increase the bill. But Ola, Uber, we know how it is. Like using GPS and all, we can track how much kilometer is there and how much the bill will be generated. Second thing is that this all economic e-commerce giants are now having a corporate accounts. Like Oyo has a corporate account, Ola has a corporate account, right? Where it's very easy to um, track the usage of vehicles or usage of hotels, and it helps to uh, save money as well, right? So direct selling, basically this doesn't involve the middleman, and it's going to be a future where this is a major impact for creating of unemployment in India, right? Because when some middlemen are not there, the major part of the employment happens in the middleman only. But direct selling combined with e-commerce can create unemployment in future. But yes, there are challenges as well. I am not saying that they are perfect ones, but like you can say Oyo has a lot of setbacks with the customer satisfaction, right? Even though Airbnb as well, right? So as I can see the figures, it's going to be a $1 trillion industry in the next 5 years, right? And the commission part is increasing because what happens in direct selling is that they work on referrals or networking. Where when I first used Ola or Uber service, I never seen an ad of them. Whereas I got a link. Through that link, I registered myself, but the one who referred me for this service got a 50 rupees coupon or voucher, right? And that's called direct marketing, where the consumer is involved in marketing of products and services, right? Just hold on. Right. So I will talk about the current scenario, what's happening. Like as you can see, the COVID-19 impact, where the airline and hotel industry is the major impacted ones, where the tourism is based on, right? So going forward, it's not going to be easy as such, because even though airlines will start, like for example, now currently based in Dubai, but I can see there is a circular received today where they're trying to repatriate Indian citizens based in Gulf countries, but the fare is double the price. So they are not going to leave us any consumer, whether they want to travel or not is their choice. But the cost impact will be more in terms of the crisis happened. Whereas everyone will look up to doing things virtually rather than visiting places for business and all. Of course, tourism will take some time, like almost like year end it will take based on the figures. But it will be not a normal scenario. It will be a new normal one where recently I was reading an article of Italy, where they're like promoting tourism again. Based on the vacation, they will be paid us free just to attract consumers. So that is the new normal, which will be like cost will be one of the scenario which will take place on the front point, where every single person will try to work on the cost part, right? So I can share you the figures later through. I can share you the PPT also. You can go through these facts and figures. This is a report from McKinsey and Company, where they have mentioned the potential impact on key sectors, right? So you can see the IT at the down part, where e-commerce connected with IT still has scope, right? But nothing to demotivate, because of course tourism is a backbone, because though poor or rich, everyone will travel. So, but it will take some time. But currently, the COVID-19 is a challenging time right now. But if you can see the 2008 recession which happened, you can see major e-commerce industries emerging, and today they are giants. You can see WhatsApp was started in 2009, Uber was started in 2009, right? Groupon, where you also get products and services of travel related services through Groupon, right? I've just mentioned few examples which can help tourism to grow. And if you can see the second image, where the potential winners and the potential losers, you can see the major impact is the tourism leisure, right? But it can create value when connected with e-commerce, because a lot of things uh, are cost saving as compared to e-commerce. It saves time, multiple products and services online of travel, right? Reach out to the public is more and easy. It's transparent, right? Now, since there is a challenge of COVID, but there is opportunity for travel agents as well, as I feel so, right? First, for any business, for its customer is the backbone. It's not the price, because I feel so, because if one customer is happy, he can bring 10 customers for the service, right? So it's very important to understand the customers first. Product comes, product pricing comes the next, right? And more important to focus here on is the existing consumer base, what we have created, or I can say the loyal consumer base, where in last few months or few years we have regular customers traveling through us. So we can get back to them again, and we can also understand their what is the current need, whether they require any help or not. So existing customer base is nothing but keeping a track of them with this feedback forms, uh, touching base them with updates of travel. Basically, a human touch, I can say, where it's very easy to do, and it's more important in our industry, right? You can also ask your customers what you can do for them to keep them as a loyal customer. But of course, this is a challenging part, but still many agencies do have it, right? If I take about example of a corporate travel, where I handle a client called Nestle. So from last 5 years I'm handling this client, but due to the service which I am providing as a team, it's the loyalty is there. So before even starting job in BCD, I was the Nestle client was there from 9 years, but still it's there, right? Though travel is reduced, but still. Okay. Again, the next part is the relationship with the consumer, which is more important. Again, we need to mute. Okay, I will continue this. Okay, so the next point was what I was talking about, the human touch, which only can a travel agent can do it, not online portals, because reaching out to online portal in this crisis is very difficult, right? And you can see a lot of mergers and acquisitions happening in our industry, because everyone is based on the cost part, and they want to add value to the services what they're providing. You can see the Ebix Cash as a company which is taking over a lot of companies in India now, right? Just because partnerships can help to build a business very stronger. Okay, and of course, travel agents can also find the niche services, right? Because human service is always superior to in non-human, because we say that technology cannot replace a human being as a feeling part, but Yes, of course, we need to find new customers using this, and also have to keep the same loyal customer with the existing ones, right? So what I feel the key mantra for today's scenario is we need to adapt to the situation, adjust it, and accommodate as much as possible, right? Because right now implementing new things as per the technology is much more needed, right? Second is the leveraging part. The leveraging is nothing but using other people's time, skills, and infrastructure, but not at this level where we can talk as a employee mindset. But what the big giants are doing, they're leveraging other people's time, other people's skills, and they're making their own time. That's called leveraging. Leveraging in our industry can be done through partnerships, where, for example, if my colleague Debagni is based in Delhi, I can take help of her in providing travel and tourism services in Delhi, where I have a trust on her, and every business or transaction happens with trust and loyalty. So I know she can handle that consumer. I cannot let that consumer down, right? So it's like me coming there in Delhi and handling the group. I can help or take time of Debagni as example to handle the client, right? Third thing is the knowledge part. So today's the like for lockdown, we have two choices: either to just stay at home and enjoy the time, or we can enhance our knowledge through product trainings, webinar. Lot of webinars are happening thanks to IITTM, where they are sending lot of webinars related to different places where we can increase the knowledge, right? So this is the best time where we can do the maximum, because once it becomes normal, then we will be having a lot of work, but that time we cannot focus on the knowledge part. So today is the time where I feel we can utilize this in a better way, right? Now coming to centric versus process centric, right? You can always see that skills are always replaceable, but a process cannot be replacing. For example, the Ola and Uber process is the same for all parts of the world. It's not like India there is a different concept, but because they work on a process, that's why they are standing strong. But thinking on the current travel companies, there is no as such a proper process where design like everyone follows the same. Everyone, this is based on a skill part, like like uh, doing things in a creative way. Yes, of course it will help, but not in the longer term. And that's why you can see a lot of companies do mergers and acquisitions, because they fall in part of a process, right? So process is nothing but you are a part of a system, where system is in place, whether you are there or not there doesn't matter, still the process is there, right? You can go to McDonald's, you can go to Starbucks, you can see the same setup, same type of coffee, and same taste. But what happens in a travel agency? Everybody has their own uh, thought process of doing things, and which is majorly based on a skill part. Of course, uh, here we can create more business in skill part as well. I'm not telling that, but major successful setups are based on a process centric model. So I feel that connecting to a process and getting things done is the mantra for today's challenging days, right? Now, of course, be positive, because nothing is in our control as of now. So we can only focus on things which are under my control, right? And for this, COVID-19 is an opportunity where it's all about individual choice what to do with this challenge. So either keep cribbling about the challenge, or create opportunity, learn new things, and move forward, right? One nice line which I like always is, if I want something which I never had, so I need to do something which I have never done. So this is the only mantra where we can only enhance our skills and knowledge, and try to do something unique which will help to grow. A concept like Uber and Ola, Oyos just had a vision which they are having, but even I have a vision, but I need to find that. So before finding something, I should know what I need to have it, right? So almost I've done with the session. Um, you can ask questions if you have any.
और इसका हर साल रहता है मेरे को तुमने राखी नहीं भेजा मैंने कहा फिर जबरदस्ती का है भाई बनता है
Hello.
Hello,
Yes, if any questions you may ask.
Mangesh.
Haji.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, Mangesh. Thank you very much. Now over to audience. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Mangesh, what inspired you opening a company, Fliptrip, and when did you think of this could be a nice change?
Can you repeat again?
When did you have this thought that you have to have your own company? Like, what inspired you? Because you had pretty, you have still pretty decent uh, 9 to 6 job, working in Dubai. But what inspired you that you want to do something of your own?
The inspiration came from my father. Like he's a government employee working for last 38 years, and he retired 2 years back. He's enjoying his time now. But what made me feel is that I reside outskirts of Mumbai, right? When I was working in Mumbai, it took me around almost like 2 hours one way to reach office, right? I used to leave home at 7 o'clock and reach office by 9. For as this exceptional case, I was given a permission to come late because I was coming all the way from suburbs, right? So the thought came that if my dad was working for 38 long years in a government job 9 to 5, and if I keep working the same way 9 to 6 the whole lot of life, and of course traveling was a major issue which I felt I should have something of my own, but I didn't know what to have. And only the skill part was the travel industry which I focused, right? And second advantage was that in my area where I stay, a place called Rasaini, where there is no agency, no, there is no travel agent, and my father had lot of good contacts where they always used to ask like, हाँ मंगेश के पास आप जा सकते हो, वो अच्छा कुछ सर्विस दे सकता है, पैकेज बना के दे सकता है, customized package. And I used to arrange local tours in Mumbai, Alibag, and at all areas. And I have a like lot of cousins, relatives where everyone is tried to book through me only. So that made me think that if as it is the customers are coming, so why not have something of my own? But I couldn't do my job because I had a home loan. So that was a perspective which I couldn't go full time. And I had an advantage that there were two choices: either open office and make my father sit in that office and just take bookings, and I will handle the back end part. Second option was go online. So I started using Facebook. I had a school friend which who was good in web designing. He's my childhood friend. So he helped me to create websites. Helped me to create apps. He taught me how to do promotions and marketing, digital marketing, and all that stuff. So when I started, it was abundance of booking which I couldn't manage alone. So I used to ignore few bookings, and I used to give few bookings to my another friend who was also a travel agent, and I should take commission from that. But later I felt that if I can do all alone, it's still possible. But alone in again the sense that I am depending on a consumer to come, right? So that helped me not to go full time, but in between I got a Dubai job and I moved to Dubai. But still, that loyal consumer base is still there with FlipTrip, where they always book through me, and I don't work on the profit part. I give net service, but I know one customer is happy, they can bring 100 customers to me, guaranteed. So
And how e-commerce help you through in this process? Like, how did you get help from e-commerce? Like, barring Facebook promotions, how did you channelize your bookings and everything? Was it through a portal? How did you do that?
okay. So portal was only an information portal. I never used any payment link and something like that. It was just for promotion of the website. I started using WhatsApp, Facebook to connect. So I used to do the referring part. So if suppose Debagni likes the package, you promote the package on behalf of me. I would give one night hotel stay free or something sort of that, or maybe a dinner at a good 5-star restaurant or 3-star 4-star restaurant. Nothing like that 5-star, but I had a good contact with the suppliers. So I used to remunerate not in terms of cash but as a service. So the Debagni as a friend will also become happy, and she will also help me to promote. That's what I was talking about leveraging. Leveraging nothing but using other people's time to create more and more time, right? And that was one of the part which I was working for, promotions and referring and word of mouth.
And I'm sure many of our juniors would be also interested in jumping onto a business and all. So, what kind of e-commerce has made everything very accessible, and there are so many things that we can procure without even spending a penny. So, what is the minimum cost involved in opening a business and getting in touch with all? What do you think about the cost part if they are interested in doing so? How e-commerce helps you in that due process?
I took some time to get into FlipTrip. It took me around like 2 years, because after college, this it was my first job in PL Worldways. I was not having any industry exposure as such. So first year in PL Worldways was like just connecting to people and understanding how things work. I even did accounting, how does tally works and all. I just learned, but it was not a passion. But building relationships is the first key to enter in any part of the business, because we should know people first, and there should be a proper network, now proper relationship with the suppliers. It's not about just asking when we need, but it's about connecting people first without any agenda. So once that base is good, then there are high chance of entering into what we think of. But yes, of course, there is a low investment. There is not much investment as such. Just to create a website doesn't take much. It can be 5,000 approx minimum level. But to create a good website, it takes 50,000 as well to involve the payment links and all. So before, I think so, first connections should be good, knowledge should be good, and you should know people in the travel industry. This can only happen by attending MICE and trade events, what happens in India and worldwide as well. I hope it answers.
Yes.
Hi Mangesh, this is Abhilasha. I have a question.
Yes, Abhilasha.
Mangesh, can you please highlight as to how you manage your time? Because you were also having a 9 to 6 job and you were also setting up your own company. So was there any difficulty in time management, or like you can just highlight how did you manage your time, because that's a major thing in your scenario.
See, to be very frank, I organize my day. Because see, the what made me a lot of like what motivates me is that The successful people also have 24 hours. I also have 24 hours. What makes them different is the time organization, nothing else. So before going to sleep, I just write down my to-do list for tomorrow. And this was a habit which my father taught me. And time, of course, 9 to 6 will be a rat race for life. So there is a choice whether to do something additional so that you don't have to do the same job for next 40 years. Yes, of course, time was a challenge, and there was a lot of criticism from my family as well that I never used to give time to them. But today, I have a lot of time because, of course, income is getting generated through job as well as the business which I am into. But initially, since we are youngsters, not much age, you can still sleep for 4 to 5 hours. I feel so. It's different person to person, but 4 to 5 hours sleep is okay for me. And 9 to 6, I go 8:30. I leave my home. 9 o'clock I reach office. 6:30 I'm back at home. 6:30 to 7 is the of family time. 7 to 11 is my um, time for business apart from BCD. So in that meantime, I do a lot of learnings. I get trained from people who are successful, though from a different background industries, not only travel, but of course our industry depending on other industries. So I should know what their industry requirements are, right? And for in Dubai, it's Friday, Saturday holiday. It is a full-time entrepreneur day for me. Friday, Saturday.
Right. Right. Thank you, Mangesh. That was nice. Thank
See,
you.
basically, time is an asset for our industry. Money is not.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I guess only my batchmates have questions, huh? Any more questions?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, sir. Sir, my question is, how is business or tourism industry different in India as compared to Dubai? Because you have worked at both the places.
Um, Dubai, here it is more technologized in the sense there are a lot of softwares where initially when I entered Dubai 2014, um, I was handling the client, still I'm handling the same client Nestle, where we had a team of 14 people, right? And it's a huge client for basically we are handling the Asia, Africa part, also the Europe part. So three continents altogether, we are handling. There are a lot of consumers. We almost have 300 every day average bookings, right? So it was all manual initially, but there are a lot of softwares which we have introduced now. We can say a Concord tool, which is a readily used app all over the world, where Conquer is connected with SAP, a client, right? It has a expense module as well as a travel module. So in that travel module, they generate the whole booking themselves. So my work is halfly done. So once they create their own bookings, they have that inventories connect to that Conquer software, right? So major three parts: hotel, car, and flights are taken care by them only. So once they select the entire components like whatever they require. So for Dubai to London, they they select the flights they want, they select the hotels they want, and every negotiated rate or the market rate is uploaded on the Concur profile. So they select accordingly. They have to give the reason why they are selecting this flight, just to maintain the savings part. It's not about like just travel business class where no one is looking, but we have to mention a reason where why they are selecting this particular flight or particular hotel, right? So once they select everything, it goes to a approval process of the respective company. Once the approval happens, that same booking reflects in our systems. For example, I use a Sabre system here. It reflects as a booking, PNR done fully, but the ticket is not issued. So my role is to just do a quality check. So things are getting 80% things are done by them. 20% I'm just doing the quality check. But earlier when I started the job in 2014, it was a manual process where I used to give them 3 options, then they used to raise a LPO or PO process, and that's how it was on mail. But now from 14 teammates, it has become only 2 teammates. So me and my reporting boss are the only people handling Nestle. So you can imagine a 14 count coming to 2 only because of technology. But of course, India is also, I can see BCD people connecting to a lot of softwares nowadays in India. So things are changing drastically, but I can say softwares are replacing human beings in Middle East at least. So um, there's a, and here in Middle East it's like a vast culture. Like it's not only Indians working, it's like mostly Europeans working. So you know how Europeans are, like we call them Gora log, right? That they have an edge on Indians. So we, as a Indian, I only can fight back in terms of skills and knowledge, right? So it's a lot of competition. Either perform or perish is the agenda of BCD. So you work or you don't work. The it's a strict atmosphere here. It's not like there is a punch in punch out proper time. 10 minutes late, half salary deducted. So it's a MNC where discipline is discipline, and that's how the culture is.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Any more questions? You can feel free to ask.
Hello.
Yes, Lama sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Mangesh, thank you. Thank you very much for coming and sharing your PPT and a great experience. And it was very nice to see you.
Thank you, sir. My
And
pleasure.
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, audience.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
Bye bye.